and welcome to today's segment of The Power of Money. And I'm your host, Michelle Graves, internationally and nationally known for the last 33 years as the Money Lady. Can you believe it? I can't. But on today's segment, boy, do I have a great show ahead for you. I'm going to be interviewing two what I call fast rising stars in the world of internet, television, and media, Edward Williams and Jamie Dinwiddie, who are principals in SDMGlobal Incorporated, headquartered in Cincinnati, Ohio. And they're going to be sharing with me for the next hour what is this all about with this internet venue. And I'm just going to be very open to all of you, my viewers. January the 1st of this year, I discontinued cable television. Seriously, they were killing me. They were killing me. Every month the bill was more. And I said, with my lifestyle, I'm not even home enough to benefit from this. I love 3 stations, C-SPAN, Animal Planet, yeah, I like animals, and CNN, yeah, I like Anderson Cooper. But you know what? I just couldn't. The Money Lady just couldn't do it. It was just gagging me. So I stopped. I did it. I went through withdrawal, by the way. I was looking at all my TVs, looking blank, and looking at my computer and wondering, am I going to make this transition? Well, I'm here to tell you I made the transition, and I am not the only one. Cable television, and hear it from me first, cable television is in for tough times ahead because internet's getting ready to flog them. They better buy some stations. Maybe they'll buy Edward's station and make him a rich man. But without further ado, let me introduce you to my remarkable guest today and just sit down and learn some stuff because this is really, really, really fascinating. Am I knowledgeable about it? Hecky no. I don't have to be. That's why they're here. So, how are you?
I am
Good to
wonderful.
see you, Mr. Williams and Miss Dinwiddie. May I call you
Pleasure.
Edward and Jamie?
Yes,
Good.
absolutely so.
Where do we want to begin with your world? You all are laughing.
We're so excited to be here, and there's
Yes.
so much to. Sometimes it's difficult to say where do you start.
Well,
Right.
we start with you had a past, and it brought you to here. And I consider you all a power couple, and I love it. I love it. So let's talk about your background and what got you to this.
Yes, and it's so ironic. So first off, we always like to start with thanks.
Oh,
So,
you're
yeah,
welcome.
thanks
My
and
pleasure.
appreciation. Thanks
My
and appreciation.
pleasure.
And significantly for me because I have been following you and the pioneering that you've been doing as it relates to broadcast, television, and media for some time.
30
So,
years.
Yeah.
I know.
Absolutely
That's
so.
kind of scary.
That's a wonderful thing. Yeah, 30 years from now, if I can look back and say, yeah, I've been doing this thing for
Don't
30
say it
years.
around your kids. 'Cause they're going to really think you're weird.
Yes.
They're going to think you're weird. Like,
30.
why is he talking about that old woman? Don't say it around your children. Okay.
So it's ironic that we are where we are geographically situated because one of my first forays into media was right here in Dayton.
Really?
Yes.
My goodness.
Back in 1995. So I always had dreams and aspirations of having my own magazine.
Yes.
Yeah, so I wanted to have
You
my
wanted
own
to do
magazine.
print media.
I certainly did. And when I lived here in Dayton in the early 90s, I had a magazine called the Minority Action Pages. And it was designed to promote minority businesses in and around the region, the Miami Valley region. So that was kind of my first
Right
introduction.
in Dayton, Ohio.
Right in Dayton,
That is
Ohio.
so amazing.
Absolutely so.
My goodness. And how old were you when you were doing all that kind
I
of
was
stuff?
in my mid-20s.
Oh,
I was in
you
my
were just
mid-20s.
a young boy.
Yeah, I was a babe.
Oh, yeah, but you had a vision.
I did.
And nobody could tell you no.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
good.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah,
good.
so I think that's really kind of how it started. I was so enthralled with Ebony and Jet, and at that time it was Emerge and Ebony Man and all of these magazines that I used to read and pick up. And I wanted to have my own magazine because I love the representation in the magazine. I love the images, I love the stories and that sort of thing. So,
Yes.
so yeah, that's really kind of where it started in terms of media for me.
Okay.
And having worked in technology for as many years as I did, because I also kind of started my technology career here in Dayton.
Did you?
Yes, certainly did.
But I tell you, Dayton, Ohio is a quiet little secret. And that is, this is a fertile place for business.
Yes.
They have a very progressive and aggressive mindset about business ownership.
Yes.
And I'm a Cincinnatian, but I tell you, I like Dayton. I do. I like it. Okay,
Absolutely.
continue.
Yeah, and with the proximity to, and it's great that up because a lot of people take that for granted about Dayton. We were driving up and we were kind of talking about Dayton and talking about how I lived here for so many years. And a lot of people take for granted that you have one of the most prominent Air Force bases in the world.
Thank you.
That's here in Dayton, in the Miami Valley. So in terms of what they do as it relates to aerospace and technology in general. Yeah, so they are a breeding ground for technologists. So as it relates to my technology background, I started working for an organization in the mid to late 90s where I was helping organizations, small businesses in particular, to develop their networking infrastructure and how to pull their computers together.
Really?
So I learned about the internet.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
That is absolutely. And what about you?
Well, I have about 15 plus years of customer service and sales experience.
Okay.
I also have a bachelor's degree in business management and currently getting my master's degree in human resource development at Xavier University.
My goodness.
So have held a couple of leadership positions in the past, and when Edward and I met, I'm not the, I'll be very, very honest, I'm not the entrepreneurial type, or I wasn't at least. And so when we first met, I thought, exactly, I thought. And so when Edward and I initially met, he just has always just been this great visionary, and he's always looking ahead, and he's always seeing things. And I just, because I'm naturally a supporter of great people doing great things, said, yeah, let's do it. What do you need? What do we need to do in order to make this thing a reality? And that evolved into my role with SDMGlobal, being the Chief Operations Manager. So I recently had made a decision to leave my employer and pursue this opportunity full time, and I'm so excited. And we're making some great leverage and headway on what we're planning on doing here in the next few months and the next couple of years as well.
I am so excited for the both of you, and I mean this from my heart, because my desire is, I tell people that as you grow older, you're interested in the generation behind you, because you have to step off the scene. I know a lot of you baby boomers don't want to hear this, but you are getting old and you need to give it up. But the thing is that the generation behind us, so many have lost their way. And I am concerned about reclaiming that with young people that have the energy and have the vision. And sure, they don't have the wisdom, but that's what we bring. We give you the vision, we tell you what potholes to avoid, and kind of guide you. That's our role in getting older. It's not about us necessarily being front and center, because I tell folks, been there, done that. You don't have to put another plaque on my wall. Done that. But I think what you are doing is so just right now. So talk about more how you got into this, and where are we going with this? Are people leaving cable, or is it just me?
No.
Yeah, people are leaving cable,
absolutely. You're spot on, you're spot on. And it's so funny because we've been talking about this for the past few weeks. And when I started the company, because when you talk about evolution, evolution is so very important. And a lot of times because we line up on the side of our cause or our purpose, we want to look at evolution in a negative way, or we want to discount evolution. But I think evolution is very important as it relates to change and development and growth. And when I started the organization, I always had a vision for doing live broadcast and internet TV, as we call it today. However, it started out with me just kind of going out taking pictures and doing a lot of video around different places, capturing concerts, interviewing people on the street. You know, I was kind of like that guy walking around with my camera and my tripod, stopping people and saying, hey, talk to me, talk to me. I want to get the latest story. But as the company, as I began to really work toward the vision for the organization, I began to realize that there were some things that were happening. There was a convergence, a major convergence, and we just talked about this.
Yeah.
Internet and television are becoming one and the same.
Yes.
They're becoming one and the same.
Love it.
Yeah. And ultimately, what we realized that was very important as we began to look at the types of organizations in the community that we support, we thought to ourselves, there's a digital divide in a very, very real way, and there is a gap as it relates to the adoption of some of these technological advancements.
Well, let's talk about that, because we've got two levels of viewers. We've got our older people. When you say a digital divide, what do you mean?
So technology continues to advance.
Yes,
And
rapid.
And I think from a widespread perspective, and in terms of the country, people in various communities will adopt more quickly.
Okay.
Sometimes you'll have individuals that perhaps baby boomers, for example, are I won't say resistant, but they are consistent in the way that they have done things. As opposed to resisting, they're just consistent. Oh, I'm going to continue to do it this way. It's been working.
Works. Yeah, it works.
It works.
We thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The challenge is that is being phased out.
Yeah.
Technology and sometimes our habits don't keep pace with the advancement.
So how do you transit? Because I'm going to tell you, I did go through withdrawal and not having a television and experiencing the realm of 24/7 internet, which is surreal. I mean, to have there's a lot. And I was like, I feel like I'm a groundhog and I'm just coming up for air. How does that happen? Okay, either one, doesn't matter to me.
I want to transition. I want to give her an opportunity. What she tapped into, that is exactly what you said, but the way that we do that is simplicity. We make it simple.
Okay.
We talk, and Jamie talks to me about this a lot of times. Don't make it so complex for people. I'm very techy. I'm very techie, so I can make it real techie, and you'll be like, oh, "What are you talking about?
What is he talking about?" I know.
And one of the greatest strengths that she has, not only in terms of organization and structure, but is simplicity. And she tells me all the time, okay, so make it simple for me. Because I'm looking at this from the perspective of everyone else who is going to say, I don't understand any of that tech jargon. How can I watch how can I watch TV on this computer
Press a button, please.
So with that in mind, yes.
Tell me.
So at SDMGlobal, we are in the business of digital marketing, digital media, and also we have our own TV network, which is Sovereign Broadcast Network. None of those things will happen in a conversion manner unless we educate people. So the way that conversion happens can happen in one or two ways. It could be someone who's very innovative, such as yourself, that just makes the decision to kind of cut things off.
Yes.
And you go and you start dibbling, dabbling, and trying to figure out things on your own, and you call up people like Edward and say, hey, how does this work, and what's going on, help. And then another way is when we talked about this in a meeting we had the other day, which is it's almost not a choice. So if it's not a choice to convert, then we need to create the educational opportunities for the conversion to happen. So that's another part of our business. Once we realized and once we came to the understanding that TV and internet are going to one day be one and the same, then we also realized that if we didn't do something about it, that our community was going to be left behind. So there's an educational piece that we'll be providing to individuals, our clients, and the community at large to say, hey, this is your phone, this is the Play Store, hit the Play Store, type in this app, download the app, bam, you're there. I mean, it's just literally that simple. So it's anywhere between creating tutorials to creating small little videos on our website where we have individuals that say it's literally a 1, 2, 3 step process.
That is remarkable, because I have a smartphone. And me and the smartphone are having divorce proceedings contemplated.
Absolutely.
Because I don't know what a Play Store is.
Yeah.
And incidentally, I have 3 tech-savvy children, went to top schools, and they tell me, figure it out. And I'm like, you don't understand. I don't know where to begin. Well, press that, do that. And the phone, I do not like my phone. I don't. And I feel disconnected with your generation, because you all are ding, 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 ding. And I'm like, how did you do that? Oh, just figure it out. I'm like, you don't understand. My hard drive is in full. I don't have the patience or the ability. So you all are going to address that.
We're definitely going to address that. And what's very interesting is even so there are some very clear differences between Edward and myself. He's very, very tech savvy, and just on our way here today, he gave me the tablet and he said do something, and I'm like, okay.
The tablet?
Yeah, I can't do
what is that?
Exactly. I can't do this. So for me, like he said, it's a perfect partnership
Yes,
because
it is.
I'm always saying, hey, you may get that, but I don't get that. And some of our clients and our customers and our viewers are not going to get that. So how do we tell them what to do in the most simplistic way possible so that it's not so scary, so that the conversion actually takes place and they're not left behind?
Right.
Amazing. So let me ask you this. So you all not only have a television channel,
Yep.
and do you do recorded broadcasts, or do you do live broadcasts? How do you do this?
Yeah. So in terms of SDM Global, which stands for Sovereign Digital Media, and the evolution was from our prior organization, which was Sovereign Media and Publications. And once again, my aspiration and my dream was always to have a magazine. And as I began to look at technology and be realistic, I thought to myself, okay, I'm not going to be selling magazines.
No.
Not at all. Not at all. As a matter of fact, by the time, and one of our plans is to have video magazines, if you will.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so interactive.
Yes.
So that sort of thing. So as we begin to look at that, we begin to think about, okay, what are the things that we want to provide that are going to be valuable, that people will be able to get, but also that will help to build our businesses and our communities. So internet TV was a natural progression. We thought the internet and the TV are becoming one and the same. We want to provide a venue and a platform for everyday people to share themselves with the world through talk show oriented programming and things along those lines. So that was natural. But then what we began to talk about is digital media. People need to understand digital media, which can be your internet on your laptop or your tablet or your web-enabled smartphone, but it can also be.
Did you hear that term, web-enabled smartphone?
Yes, there.
Yeah.
You'll get that a
The
lot.
jargon.
You'll get that a lot from him.
Okay, all right.
He is up here.
I'm
He
like,
is up
when you
here.
land.
Yeah.
Zoom, we're down here. We're the little creatures running around down here.
Yeah, we're trying to.
You know,
We're trying to figure you out, you know, like,
Okay.
Now-
Anyway,
You always
Mr.
cause
Williams.
this blushing.
Yes, he does.
Okay.
I deal with it every day.
That's
every
you.
day. Yes.
Okay.
So there's a lot of ways to access the internet, and the internet is at the foundation of everything. So, and I thought about this as we were coming up, and I thought about this and was meditating on this yesterday. The two most important technology advancements, in my opinion, in the history of our age were the phone and the television. The phone as it relates to communication, and the television as it relates to entertainment. Now, look at what's happened in terms of evolution. The phone has become this mobile smartphone.
It's the TV.
Exactly. And look at what's happened to television. It's become the internet. It's the
Yes.
way that we receive and consume entertainment. So we thought about our products and our services and the value that we wanted to offer to the community and to other businesses, particularly small businesses, because we work with those a lot. And we said, okay, so let's take these two landmark technology advancements and bring them together and provide services that help people to benefit from them in the greatest way. We'll use the internet and we'll use mobile devices. So we'll use communications and we'll use entertainment. We'll blend those together, put internet TV on the top of it. We'll educate people on how they can market their business utilizing the internet, regardless of whether your business is an internet style business. You can have a retail shop that sells sandwiches, but if 200 million people consume content and information on the internet, you need to be talking about your sandwiches on the internet.
Correct.
It's better to talk about them if people can see you making them, if they can see other people eating them. So we converged those things. So the digital media services that we provide allow people to utilize the internet as a mechanism to reach their audience for their business, their products, their services, their charitable missions, their community-oriented activism efforts, whatever have you. Because that's the way that we're going to communicate and entertain ourselves, and that's the way that we're going to convey information back and forth.
Do you feel that internet will ever be on par with commercial television, with stupid TV that you just watch for purely no value just reality TV and game shows.
Yeah.
And I mean, because there's a mindlessness that goes along with entertainment,
Yes.
which is you can relax your brain because nothing's going on.
Actually, that's kind of that's the direction that we're headed with the network, the SDN
Okay.
network, where again we're allowing a platform, because we talked about it when we made this concept up. There's YouTube, there's Vimeo, there's
All these different
Google,
videos.
yeah.
yeah,
Google
all these
Plus,
different
yep.
platforms where people can kind of just throw up their random videos of what they're
Oh,
doing throughout
God,
the day.
yes, like stop it.
Absolutely, stop it. It's a lot,
Leave
right?
me alone. I don't want to know
Right,
anymore.
exactly. And so what we
First it was
wanted
cute,
to do,
though.
right,
Right.
I mean,
First it was cute.
First it was cute, but
And
now
it got out of hand.
it's like, oh no, stop.
Yeah, and it got out of hand. It really
Okay.
has gotten out of hand, should I say. So what we wanted to do with our network is we wanted to provide a very structured way of everyday people to be able to share themselves with the world. So we have this slogan where we say, share you with the world.
Okay.
So whatever your mission is, whoever you are, whatever you're doing, you can come and we can help you produce, we can collaborate and help you produce your own show. Whatever that
Weekly
may
or-
be. Weekly, yeah.
So you're not going to focus on like commercials like 15 or 30 or 67 second slots. How are you going to make your revenue? Because on television, you make your revenue from advertisers.
Well,
they pay based on viewership and Arbitron and all that. So how are you all going to do this if you're going to structure it like this?
We're going to do it the exact same way.
Okay.
We're going to have advertising promotional spots. So we will do commercial breaks as well. So we
Okay.
will sell commercials. We sell advertising directly on the site. We allow an individual to come in, start their own show, have their own channel, have their own web page, promote their TV show.
Okay.
So for example, we have a show that's on the network right now called Real, Raw, and Relevant, which is a Christian-based show where we have some young people who come on the show and kind of talk a little bit about the struggles of being a Christian in today's society.
Okay.
We
Young people.
Young people.
Oh, that's
exactly.
good. That's very
20-somethings.
forward. That's very
20-something.
forward. Okay.
But we also have another show that's coming up very soon in the fall called Broken Heart Stories,
Oh,
which
no.
is a young woman who is going to have a talk show centered around when you get a broken heart, what do you do, the stresses of broken heart, and some very serious topics around dating and relationships.
That's powerful.
So that's very
That
powerful.
that should happen. yes.
Exactly.
Does she offer solutions?
And she's going to offer solutions. She's going to have guests on the show, so she may have a counselor come on the show. She'll have other people who are going through difficult relationship troubles come on the show and kind of talk this thing out. How do you really move forward after you've had a
That's
broken
going to
heart?
be a hit.
So it's
That's-
and we
that's
are
gonna be a hit.
excited.
Yeah,
We are
that's good.
excited about
Very
that show.
excited.
But it's these individuals came to us and said, "Hey, I've got a show concept. This is what I want to do. How do we make it a reality?" And we provided them with a platform to make it a reality. Now on the back end, obviously the other part of the business is we are selling advertising.
Yes,
We
yes.
are. You can sponsor a show, you can advertise on the show. They have their own channel and it's live, but then we loop it. So we loop it.
Syndicated. yeah.
Syndicated.
Okay,
yes,
I was
thank
going
you.
to say,
Yes,
you're
Exactly.
syndicating.
We're
Okay.
exactly. So we're syndicating.
Oh, you're
the
going to make
programming.
some money.
Yeah.
So you're going to
We are
syndicate
excited.
into a regular commercial venue?
Yeah.
You're going to do, oh, you're going to make some money. I need to talk to you. I got a couple of ideas. No, I'm serious.
That's what we were
I
hoping
know,
you would
yeah.
say.
I am so serious. I know everybody. I know people all over the world, but my thing is that people need to see people that have hit the bottom, splat, and come back. And I got a ton of people that are comebacks. Like you lose The Biggest Loser,
Yeah.
where you lost all that weight. I got people that have come back from nothing, lost everything, and have come back and are now wealthy and successful.
Yeah.
I mean, one guy that sat on my board was, the prepaid credit cards and all
Yep.
that stuff.
Yep.
Sam Pitts is a father of that. Sam Pitts in Deese, Alabama. Sam was a broker than broke, blonde, blue-eyed, short white guy, a pastor. Wife left him, penniless, had an epiphany about bad credit and how to get people back on credit by putting money on deposit and getting a credit card. And Sam took $25, that's all he had to his name, and went to the National Enquirer and actually pitched it, and they backed him, and he introduced prepaid credit cards into the United States.
Wow.
And the first bank that was willing to buy into prepaid credit cards was a bank headquartered in Cincinnati, Ohio, called Provident Bank. And bankers could not figure out how Provident was making all their money, but they bought into his idea. I don't have to tell you his story. He became a wealthier than wealthy man, and awesome comeback person. And we need to see this today.
Absolutely.
We do. We need to see people that have had nothing, and now they just are doing it. Can you imagine a broke, penniless preacher with kids and living in a bad situation and has a vision, boom, and gone with it? And today he's just, Sam is just amazing. But it's not just, I mean, I got a ton of people, and I believe that there's a time we need to focus on giving people hope. I don't want them to even look at me and paint these stupid pictures, because people paint stupid pictures. Oh, she's always had it. I'm like, are you serious? Are you serious? At one point in my life, I was homeless, period, and living in New York City in a basement room, and sewed myself out of that situation. I borrowed a sewing machine and started making dashikis in the 70s. And my dashikis were everywhere, and sewed myself, literally, sewed myself out of poverty. So when people say the money lady, I said, stop tripping. You don't know me like that. Everybody that has, everybody's got a business, we got stories. We got powerful stories of faith and trauma and drama and treachery, all the things that make a good story. And the bottom line is that if you have been entrusted by God to vision out what he gave you, then do it. And that's why I say you to just do it. I love it.
We are excited.
I know, keep going.
We are excited.
Because I'm talking to rich people. I'm talking to some rich people up in this studio. Okay, remember me.
Excited.
Okay, don't put me in a nursing home.
No way.
Not at all.
We're going to be sitting at your feet.
Oh,
Like
please.
I told you that once before. I just want to sit down at your feet and just listen.
Oh,
Yeah.
please.
Just
It's
absorb
been a
it.
story, but you guys have the energy and the strength and the vision to do it. So you got these clients, you're gonna use the platform of shows. You're gonna still do sponsorship and advertising. The shows that birth, that launch, you're gonna syndicate out into commercial television, which is smart. So you're gonna be syndicators now. Oh God. Oh God. You're going to be so rich. Anyway, I am so serious. It wasn't Oprah, it was King Syndicators. I'm serious.
It was the people.
It was
behind the
it was
scenes
King Syndicators.
that said, put this here, put this
Put
there,
this
put
here.
this here, put that.
Yeah. She got rich, but they got richer. For real. So go on. So you're gonna syndicate your stars.
You know, and it's so great that you brought that up, because one of the things that we think is the greatest strength between us is we have this combination of the visionary and the organizer.
Yes. Very
And
important.
So
It'll drive you crazy.
Yeah.
Snap, snap.
Yeah.
I'll see it. I'll see it up on the wall. It's like in the scripture where it talks about the writing on the wall.
Yes,
I'll
right.
see it up on the wall. And then I'll say, okay, we can do that. I know how we can get there. This is going to be big. It's going to be tremendous. And then she'll say, okay, so that's awesome. So how do we do it? Give me the steps. If it's going to be linear, I want it to be linear. If it's going to be cyclical, I want it to be cyclical. If it's going to be three-dimensional, I want it to be three-dimensional, but gives me the steps so that we can execute on that. And what I had started was based upon this strong vision that I had for allowing people, everyday people, to be happy, inspired, and motivated. So when you said give people hope, that's our
Yes.
mantra.
That's what we
Inform,
Yes.
innovate, inspire.
Right.
We want people to be inspired. So I thought, okay, yeah, this internet TV, it's great. Oh, wow, this is going to be exciting. And what she was able to do literally within a handful of weeks was provide me with some structure and all this programming, and the idea that I thought, okay, hey, so we can find stars, we can help create stars like they used to.
Yes, they
as opposed
used
to now,
to.
yeah, as opposed to the way they do it now. Go to YouTube, find some
Yeah, the
person.
vast wasteland, as I said, it's
Yeah.
just TV garbage. The vast wasteland.
We can find talent and bring that talent to people, and then take that talent and spread it across the world. So the structure that she was able to develop in a short span of time said, okay, we're going to do programming, and we're going to have advertising, sponsorship, and what we're going to do is package that appropriately so that our programming helps us build our audience, and our advertising and our sponsorship help us build our constituent and our client base
And keep you in business.
and keep us in business.
Because you got to eat.
Yep.
Gotta eat.
It's not
Absolutely so.
nonprofit.
Yep.
Even they
I
got
have
to
to
eat.
tell
Yep.
him that so many times
Yeah,
because
she tells me that all the time.
Edward is
She uses
is
those
such
exact
a,
words.
I use those exact words. Edward is such a giver. He is has such a beautiful heart, and that's one of the reasons why, on a personal note, I'm with him.
Of course.
But from a business standpoint, I have to tell him, honey, we're not running a nonprofit. You see, this stuff got to be paid for.
That's rent. That's called rent.
This is called
That's
rent.
rent. Right,
Exactly.
exactly.
And so I have to tell him that so often. So we really keep each other on base in terms of, I wouldn't want to work with any other person on this business venture. Couldn't imagine it. It's just been a true blessing overall.
Well, I love the balance because I'm a visionary and I'm a giver. My God. I mean, I won't even get into the money I have given and the people that I have helped over the years, long years. But business is business.
Yeah.
And I've had to say that over and over again to myself and to others, which is, if you think you're going to be in the world called capitalism, and you're going to always be writing checks, then you need to find a rich white man who loves you and is willing to capitalize you free.
Yeah, finance.
And then pass him on to me.
Right.
Because I don't know anybody like that. I really don't. Most people that are business people, business owners, understand critically return on investment. Which is, my time is the most valuable and precious commodity
absolutely.
I have. Once you blow it, I can't recover it. You can always get more money, but you can't get more time. So when people are around you that don't get it, you just got to kind of gently push them back into the sandbox, which is where children play. And then you proceed on to do what you do. So you are the COO. I like that. And there is balance. So do you think that internet will ever compete toe-to-toe with commercial television?
Absolutely. Absolutely
Gosh,
so.
is commercial television going to own these states? Is that what they're going to do, bring in the bucks and take internet?
So that's a great question.
TV, is that where we're heading?
So I think that ultimately will be the case. I think there will be some resistance on the part of internet, because if you look at internet now, you've got Microsoft, you've got Google, and you have, what is it, Yahoo?
Yeah, I got Yahoo.
Yeah,
Yahoo's
Yahoo
playing ball.
that's kind of getting there. So it's like AT&T, MCI, and Sprint back in the day.
Right.
But ultimately, and you know this, of course, having been in television and broadcasting, they got the real money.
Oh, yeah.
They got the real money.
Yeah.
So
and they have the access to
they've
Wall
got the
Street,
access,
which will bring them tremendous capital. So do they look at a station like yours and look at your brand and emerging population groups, and then they say, I'm just going to buy it?
Yeah, and that's ultimately what will happen. I think that's ultimately what will happen. I think when Google bought YouTube, they made a clear decision that we understand where this whole video sharing internet. Yeah,
I
they said we
anticipated
understand.
it. Yeah, they understand.
Unfortunately, Google is as innovative as the Google 3 are. You know, the three guys, Sergey and the other. They can't compete with Comcast. They're not on the same level.
What?
They're just not on the same level as Comcast.
Seriously?
They're not on the same level as NBC, Seagram's, GE, because it's...
What?
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Let me call my trader in Asia and
Google
see how
is
this
innovative, but Comcast owns stuff. everything.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. And
So they're help me here because
Well-
you done opened up something deep.
Comcast well, so here's how I like to think about internet. You got the stuff in the sky
Yes,
and you got the stuff underground.
yes.
That's the way that we get internet. That's the way we get digital. It's either
Right.
coming across the airwaves
Or
it's coming
on our
on the ground.
landlines, yeah. Mhm.
Comcast, NBC, Seagrams, GE, they own the infrastructure that GE operates on.
Oh, got it. Who
So-
owns the sky?
Yeah, Comcast.
Comcast.
Comcast owns the sky. Comcast owns the ground.
Oh, I need to be buying stock in Comcast.
Yeah.
Oh, I got it.
So
I got it.
So Google, they
Oh my God.
yeah,
Well, what does Google own? The technology?
they own the technology. But but okay, so yeah, that's nice technology, but we ain't gonna let you put it in our ground.
Exactly.
We ain't gonna let you. Where you gonna put it?
Exactly.
Now you're talking.
Where you gonna put it?
Where you gonna put
put
this?
Yeah, where you gonna put it?
Mounted
We'll
on
take it.
donkeys and walk the
Yeah,
stuff.
we'll
Right.
take it. And by the way, you can't use that road.
Because we own that.
We own that
We own
road.
we own
Yeah.
the road.
We own that part of the country, so we
Oh my
gonna
goodness.
move you.
What?
from-
Oh my God. Talk to me about China then.
Oh well.
Yeah.
So as and
Oh,
from my perspective, it's all about infrastructure.
I'm going to start
It's all
screaming
about
in here.
infrastructure. Think about third world organizations
I'm thinking.
and how they are developing DSL, broadband, and internet.
Right, as we speak.
Yeah.
Most
Now-
notably, Brazil.
Brazil, so
Okay.
Malaysia.
Okay.
Gosh, what's the other big one? Not Manila. It's the Philippines.
Right, they're
Uh,
hot.
So all that development is going on. So the internet doesn't go anywhere that the infrastructure isn't.
Is not there.
Yeah, you have to have the
Why aren't they
infrastructure.
doing it in Africa right?
Well, they're starting to. They're beginning to.
Because there's a lot of money. We already
Yeah.
know Africa's crazy.
But there's conflict
But
in
there's
Africa.
conflict.
There's
It's
conflict
been
in
that's
Africa.
generational.
Right. Right.
But there's too much money on the table
It's
to not
it's going
do
to happen.
Africa.
It's going to happen. And all I say is follow the infrastructure. Where they begin to build and develop infrastructure for broadband and for digital communications, those are the people you want to follow. Because yeah, Google's got great technology, Microsoft's got great technology, but if you don't
But
have
the
infrastructure,
who owns Comcast?
I don't know.
I must know this.
I don't know. But Comcast owns
Everything.
We were watching a movie the other day and it was like, Comcast owns that movie
Right,
company?
right.
What?
We looked at the
Look
bottom of
that.
the screen.
Hold
Yeah.
on.
We were
Hold on.
confused.
It's like
Like,
a
what?
Comcast Spectacor company.
phenomenon.
Comcast owns ballparks, they own stadiums, they own property management, they own infrastructure. Yeah.
They're a monster.
They're
Oh, and GE, what is GE?
GE
What he
owns NBC and Seagrams.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
So
entertainment and alcohol. But they don't have infrastructure.
well, yeah, they do. So think about GE aircraft engine. Think about GE I'm trying to think. So it's aircraft engine, GE engineering.
They got the best engineers.
Yeah.
They do.
And they build infrastructure. So GE works with Department of Transportation. They have Department of Transportation contracts all around the country to develop infrastructure for highways, pathways, irrigation, telecommunications. People don't know this, but once again, it goes back to the two greatest developments of our time: the television and the phone. So Ma Bell with the phone, okay, hey, we're gonna put these wires up and run them all across the country.
Right.
So after they took the wires down, they said, hey, we're going to put these fiber optic lines
All
under the ground and
yeah,
run them all
starting
across
with
the
Sprint
country.
and everybody, yeah.
And now it is, okay, hey, we're going to create this cloud network.
Yes.
Google doesn't work without their infrastructure. Our computers don't work without a pipe to get the
Got
internet.
it.
Yeah.
And he who controls the pipe
Controls.
controls everything.
Yeah.
That's basic business premise. To lock
So-
in your supply source, lock it down.
So you're right about TV buying. So because
Okay.
TV will buy it. They will say
Commercial television, they-
Commercial television
yeah,
will
will.
say, okay, we like that internet TV thing. People are watching on their devices. But if you just look at cable now makes it available for you to watch your cable on your web-enabled smartphone, your tablet.
Well, this
your,
station here, DATV, live streams, mobile,
Yeah.
phenomenal.
They will transition. As they begin to lose more of you to the box, they will begin to say, hey, we got a new box for you, Miss Graves. You plug it into your wall. We got a new box. It's not like
I'll
that
say,
old
talk
one.
to me.
Yeah.
Give me
They're
my
going to say, hey,
CNN
you can
back.
take your keyboard or you can take your whatever device it is that allows you to get to whatever you want to get to. They'll say, we got a new box for you now. You can come back. Come on back.
But I am intrigued by what this guy is brilliant. Viewers, this guy is very smart.
He is very
You need to listen.
Yeah.
Make your moves. Keep talking. I am like,
I'm rambling
oh
too much.
no, you are not. I'm looking at all these sparks and geez, that is so powerful.
Yeah. Follow the trucks. Follow where they're building stuff.
I'm up at 4 a.m. You know that. When everybody else is sleeping, I'm on the Hang Seng. I'm looking at, international trade and currency transactions because we are 12 hours behind them.
Yeah.
I mean, for real, we are 12 hours in real time behind Asia. And that's not good.
Yeah.
You don't need to be behind people.
All the chips, all of the componentry, all of the stuff that's inside of our computers comes from over there.
I
Our
was in
phones and all
Shenzhen. I really watched it. And that was a decade ago, and it was very disturbing because I said, we better make some moves or else we're going to be just blown by. It's not like they even think about us. They just do what they do with 12-hour differential, which is why we sleep, forced to be reckoned with. Not a joke.
No.
So how are you going to integrate those markets into your business plan?
Well, and so the big thing is, and that's why we transitioned from media and publications to global.
Oh, I'm with you.
I saw it and I was like, wait a minute, I saw internet TV. Oh, internet, where's the internet? Oh, it's everywhere. Oh,
yeah, everywhere. Like Skype everywhere.
Yeah.
Anytime.
So we've been talking about some of these things. Just tell her about the conversation we had the other day where we were talking about opening these branch offices, and then all of a sudden it was like, wow, we don't need to do that.
You don't need to open up a branch
We don't need to
office.
do that. Exactly. Yeah.
You don't. No.
Yeah.
No. Mm-mm. Human cap. No.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. I mean, just very similar to how TV networks do it now, we would operate in the same exact fashion. We would go, we would find the talent, we would bring it to us. We may do an on-site where we send a cameraman if we need to do that, to record a show or live stream a show, and then we put it on our network. But it's all about first doing the proof of concept where we're at right now and getting a formalized structure in place that we can say, okay, so we know that this is working. So now that we know that this is working, how are we going to move it to the next level? And really moving it to the next level for us is just integrating ourselves into new markets, introducing the concept, and then bringing people back to the network to do the same thing over again.
That, that flies in the face, as I'm sure you're aware. This is very forward thinking, really kind of avatar-ish, truthful, where you're there and they're not. Right. And that's good because those that are there are usually the ones that become very, very wealthy because they see what other people don't see. Because by the time other people see it, it's over. Yeah. You can't play catch up when it comes to vision and focus. But my question to you would be, as you move down this road, do you see traditionally internet, they tell you, here's the spiel, get a website. Push your website by buying Google AdWords. Right. Click. Yeah. And you know what? You can spend a ton of money trying to get people to your site. And then they get there and they bounce back, which is, oh, that's really nice. But, I don't know, because human beings still need that touch. Yeah. Do you see your particular methodology competing with that particular platform right now?
Absolutely.
Because you got to give me some hope here. I got websites and I got all that. And I'm going to tell you, you spend too much money trying to get people to come to your site. Yeah. Yeah. And then that site has to consummate in some kind of a purchase or transaction. Right. That's a lot of pieces. versus creating an environment through television where advertising can be more efficient.
Yeah.
Am I
Yeah.
is that
absolutely.
where we're coming from here?
Yeah. So I have to be conscious of the way I say things because sometimes I'm passionate and a little confident. So we're going to blow that away.
Oh, I don't mind you being confident.
We will blow that out of
I
the
don't
water.
care. Every rich man I know is confident.
We'll blow it out of
I
the
mean,
water.
really.
The pay-per-click, the traditional search engine optimization,
Oh,
the traditional
God.
search engine marketing, that will go away.
I am so happy to hear that.
All that stuff will
Because
go
I
away.
am so
It is
frustrated.
wasteful. The process isn't effective.
Not at all.
It's and then when it's done, it's not done in a way that truly engages and converts.
Right.
And it's about attraction. You attract
Okay.
people, then you engage them, you keep them,
Right.
and then you convert them. And the thing of so what I find sometimes is people think that they have to force people to convert. People will convert on their
I
own.
totally agree. I
They'll
thought it
convert
was
on their
just
own.
me.
No, you don't have to force. You don't have to
I
browbeat
was
them.
like, excuse me, I actually took up not a sabbatical. I own a company that is very passionate about that has brought a specialized product to the market. And I told my I'm going to go face to face.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this.
Yeah.
I'm taking a pause on all this stuff because I'm not getting a return
Nope.
on my investment. And I'm trying to figure out who is.
Yeah.
Who is getting a return on their investment for using the AdWords and click and all of that? I still like, and maybe that's the baby boomer issue, is this just the way humans are? We still like that personal touch.
Jamie can speak to that very,
Okay,
very well.
all
Because she
righty.
always brings me back home with that.
Talk to me.
Well, I think we absolutely still like that personal touch, that we will never be able to replace that. And I am of the adage that God is a God of relationships.
He
so
is.
We can develop all this technology and we can, but at the end of the day, we've talked about in the past that we're going to revert back to people saying, no, I really want to know this person. I really want to be able to touch and feel this person. When you're building a image or a business or whatever it may be for yourself, people aren't really buying into what you do, but they're buying into why you exactly do it.
Right.
And so there are people on the internet who don't do the pay-per-click, but they just have a website up, and their website and their return on investment is very significant. Reason being
Wow.
is because people are buying into why they're actually doing what they're doing. And so,
Wow.
yeah, definitely people are into that relationship. And so that's what we want to create through SBN Network, is not just a whole bunch of programming, but again, the happy, motivated, and inspired individual who wants to share themselves with the world.
That's a language I can relate to. When you said, did Damon Butler make this necklace? And I said, but of course, because he personally designs all my jewels.
And it's one of
And nobody else
one of a kind.
in life had better have this on. If they do, I'm just going to take it off because he specializes in that. And I don't know if he ever really needs a website because his is so boutique-ish, one of a kind, and he can do well. But for those of us who have a larger venue, we have to have some kind of presence.
Yeah.
And certainly from where I sit, because my commitment is to educating people, period, about money, about opportunities, situations, to give them hope.
Yeah.
So that they won't become vagabonds and castaways. That's what I see today. I see so many people who are just in such a bad place up here.
Right.
And that's what I'm concerned about. Do you have something to say?
I did. I wanted to, when you said Damon might not need that because it's so boutique-ish, he might not need an online presence. Well, we were having a very interesting conversation just a couple of weeks ago, and the question was, what in our community specifically,
right.
our
Okay.
community specifically, what was the downturn? What caused the struggle for our businesses in our community?
Okay.
And someone brought up the point integration. So at the point that point that integration presented itself, our businesses did not want to integrate. They went into that idea, and what happened? These other businesses kind of reached for the stars and they shot for the moon, and our businesses were left behind. And so a part of our mission and our purpose statement is that even with someone like Damone is going to need this presence. He's going to need this, or he's going to be left behind, because there's going to be a point where we're going to have to merge the relationship piece of it and also the media piece of it.
Okay.
And if he doesn't have that presence, he can say all day long, I'm boutique-ish, I'm unique, I'm this, but you don't have that presence. So you're not getting the exposure that you need to really make your business grow to the level that it could grow to.
Well, that's awesome, because he is awesome.
He is amazing.
He is,
yeah.
no, really. I am, I love unique things, I guess bohemian, and he's just amazing.
And he should share what he does with the world.
Well, I tried. Damone, you know I've tried
We love
to
you,
get
Damone.
you on the show because you are amazing.
Yeah.
In the remaining time we have, because time has zoomed by.
It has.
I'm serious. We are
Yes.
just about done. And I have so many other questions that I want to ask you, and I don't have the time on this particular venue, but I will ask them. Would you summarily state to my viewers what is your vision and what is your mission?
So the vision for SDM Global is very simple, and I'll say it twofold. Obviously,
Okay.
to our clients and our constituents, we want to provide a media presence that allows you, as a business owner, as a nonprofit, as a community activist, as a high-profile individual, to be able to showcase your brand, your products, and services to the world. It's simply that, utilizing integrated digital media. Now, in terms of our following and our audience, we just want to provide an internet media venue that's going to give you an opportunity to see all of this wonder and amazement that is your life. So we want to be the best mirror.
Okay, because there are other mirrors. There are other
Yeah.
companies that are
Yeah.
trying to launch and do this in other parts of the country, and
Yep.
I get pushback from them periodically. But your uniqueness rests in what?
Our uniqueness rests in, one, internet television,
Okay.
and digital media, and we have. So I want to say we've kind of focused very specifically on a particular market,
Yes.
and said to that market, okay, hey, we're going to help you bridge that gap, and we're going to make certain that you do not get left behind as
That's
this
powerful.
evolution takes place.
Because it's happening.
Because it is
Fast.
happening. It is happening. And just like you
Fast.
talked about in terms of television, so what's the end game? So is television going to buy all this internet stuff? Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, they're going to do it because they
They're
have the
gonna
money.
buy all of
They're
this.
going to do it.
We, and it is what it is, our communities have unfortunately been relegated to the position of conspicuous consumers. Nothing more.
And marginalized
Yeah.
to
nothing
zero.
more. Yeah. Yeah,
Zero.
go over there.
Go do something.
Yeah.
Buy some gym shoes.
Exactly. Go buy some gym shoes.
Buy some
hey,
gym shoes.
we've got something new for you.
Yeah,
Buy
yeah,
it
buy
up.
that.
Buy it
Buy
up.
that.
Yeah,
Buy
make
that.
us wealthy.
Right.
Cement our legacy. And your legacy,
Yeah. Nothing.
we want to provide a medium that's going to allow us to also now produce and develop our legacy.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
That's powerful. To say something quick, because we're out of time.
Ditto everything he said. He said it best. I don't have anything to add. He said it best.
Well,
And she's going to make it happen.
Oh, no. Absolutely. And I'm just I'm so okay with that. I am so okay with that. Well, a couple of things I want to say just before we sign off. First, I like what you're doing, and count me in. That's a done deal.
Amen.
I don't waste a lot of time. I'm like, is it up or is it down? This one is up. This one is up. And I want to commend you for being tenacious to your vision. And I want to exhort you to stay away from anyone who cannot get it, because 250 million people, it just doesn't matter. There are those that are going to get it, and there are those that are not going to get it. And those that don't, bless them and wish them a nice day. So I said, have a happy smile and have a nice day. And you have to leave now, because that's the end of the story. I can't talk to you.
Amen.
I can't talk to you no
That's
more.
it.
You know,
can't talk to you
next,
no more.
you keep moving. And I want to just bless both of you for being such an extraordinary example of what young people can do. It gives me hope and it makes me proud. It really does. And on that note today, viewers, come on. I know you were engaged and I was too, and it was awesome and wonderful. Edward Williams and Jamie Dinwiddie, a power couple that have a vision and they're going to execute. They're not going to talk about it, they're doing it. And that makes me happy. So on today's segment of The Power of Money, I wish you well. As always, God bless you and God's peace be with you. And talk to you next time. You take care.